second episode of How I Do It. So here we are to explain you how this new setup works. This is the improvisation called Aliens. It's done with a different modular system. This is a Serge modular system, so you can see has a different format than Eurorack. And so I really love this concept because Mr. Serge Tchemkin made a great work to create a synthesizer with really economic parts. So when he developed the project, it was in the early 70s, and this project was an idea to do a synthesizer that could be bought by the students of the music art schools. Compared to Buchla or Moog that were very expensive, this was a DIY project and it was just $700 to create a complete system. So really cheap. Let's take a look really shortly. Here it's a mess of cables, so I will just try to explain really fast what I did. So we have two oscillators here. Don't expect perfectly tuned oscillators because we don't have really a tracking with these oscillators. So this is the really early concept of Mr. Serge. The idea is being developed between 73 and 75, and that's the name also of the company that is redoing these modules. So they are exactly done with the circuit of the original ones. A very good reconstruction. The two oscillators have been then developed in a second time in good tracking oscillators. They are still really good sounding. So the main output is a sinusoid, but you have a wave shaper and you can transform it into a sawtooth, and you also have a sawtooth output. So I like to stay on the sinusoid and then maybe do some wave shaping with this triple wave shaper. This is very cool because you can patch one wave shaper into the other, so you have 3 stages of wave shaping and it can become really wild. Then we have a simple filter with 3 outputs with different band filtering, so low pass, band pass, high pass, and a pretty resonance. It's not really self-oscillating, but it's almost there. So I really like the flavor of this filter. And then we have 2 gates. These are sort of VCAs. You can put inside an envelope to control them, or you can just use it as a volume for the output. Here we have one envelope generator. It's a 2 stages envelope, but it also can become 4 stages. It depends on this knob. Can also self-oscillate if you patch it the right way, so it can become also an oscillator. And so this is one particular thing of the Serge modular, is that a lot of modules can be patched in different ways and obtain different functions. So this is really interesting. And so I used also the sample and hold here. You also have a noise generator, but I just use the sample and hold. I feed a gate inside of it, and then I will explain how I sequence all this stuff. And then I used also the positive and the negative slew. I used all 4 of them because each module has 2 positive and 2 negative slews. I use them in a mixed way. Some of them, like this one, is used as an envelope generator, sort of burst generator, and the other ones that I use them as a modulation. One in FM, going inside this oscillator, and another one to control other part of others to control the triple wave shaper. Another interesting thing that I did is to sync the two oscillators together with this cable. And something about the cables, so you can see here one, really simple. These are not normal Eurorack jack cables, these are banana cables. So the interesting thing of these cables is that they are very sturdy. When you put them inside, it takes some energy, and you can stack as many as you want. So you can get the voltage out and send it in a lot of directions. You see I did some stacking here, so, and here, but during the performance I built it also a little bit higher. And one other particular thing that each module, when it gives out the voltage, it compensates the voltage in different directions, so you have always the same voltage. This is a particular thing about Serge. There are some modules I did not use, these two, because I didn't need them, because I went out through these two outputs, and one of the outputs went to the Echoplex Dunlop delay. I used to give some flavor to one of the two oscillators, and then everything, also my companion Percons, everything went inside of the Bastel Dude. So this is a really tiny mixer, but I love it. It's mono, so for this performance was perfect because I don't have anything stereo, everything is in mono. And so you can crank up really high the attenuators and give like to plus 20 dB, so everything is really crunchy. And I must say this time it came out sort of a more industrial techno performance. So last piece of this is a SQ1. I take out all of these banana jacks so you can look at it better. So I did modify it. You can see it doesn't have the normal outputs. I did that DIY modification, and I transformed the jacks into banana. So it's very easy to do, and since the SQ1 is really cheap to buy, also secondhand, it's a thing you can try if you have a banana jack system. So one thing I must say, because the banana jacks have just one pole and it sends the voltage, you need also the ground, because the ground is needed to give a reference to all the voltages. So you need the zero. And in this case I used a cable, this cable, you see it goes all the way down there, and this cable is connected to the ground of the Serge system, so you have also ground coming out from the SQ1, and so all voltage are unified with one single ground. So I think this is all. Please go check out the performance. I think something really cool came out. Some parts maybe are a little bit with less energy, but there came out really cool things. Maybe like a 60% is really cool. So please check it out, and if you like the channel, you want to support it, there is a few actions you can do. One is subscribe here beneath, and one is to give a thumbs up and maybe comment if you have some other questions you would like.